Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany Bundles, and today's video is going to be all about adding variants to your website. When I say variants, I'm meaning options. So as you can see on the screen, I have options for my customers to choose where it says choose your inches, so they can choose the length, and then also choose your texture. And so this is I think it's a cool way to give your customers options on the site instead of having separate product options. Like instead of saying, for 16 inches, click here, or for, 18 inches, go over here to this section. Everything's just kind of there. I've seen a lot of websites, and some websites don't have variants. And sometimes I think to myself, wow, this would be so much more convenient if variants were added to the website. And so, there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to do it, or a lot of people out there that just want a refresher. So if you're one of those people, be sure to stick around for the video. Make sure that you are giving the video a big thumbs up, and let's get right into it. I do want to say this, if you don't have Shopify, because this is the platform that I'm using, Shopify is the platform that I personally use for my online business, as well as the platform that I use for the majority of clients that I work with. Click the link down below this video. Choose a plan through Shopify that works best for you. There is a Shopify link at the bottom of this video. Even if you're using a different e-commerce site, clicking that link will give you the ability to play around with some of the themes that Shopify offers. It also gives you the ability to just kind of get familiar with the e-commerce site and platform to see if it is going to be a good benefit to you and your business in the long run. So definitely make sure that you're doing that. Now, I do want to say adding variants is really important on your website, especially if you're offering hair extensions or if you're offering products that don't necessarily come in one size fits all. So like I offer virgin hair extensions, for an example, and there's different lengths that my customers can choose. Right now, I'm actually under the frontal portion or the closure portion, but you can see that a customer can choose their length and also their texture pretty seamlessly down below. So it's not too difficult. One thing that we have to keep in mind when we're creating our websites and when you're having your websites created is that you do want a website that's going to be easily navigated. So you don't want anything that's going to be too tricky for your customers. You don't want them to have to do too much work or jump through too many hoops. So having variants added on your website can definitely minimize some of the clicks, and it can definitely cause for a more seamless experience for your online shoppers. Now you can always change the variants. So instead of, having straight body wave, Malaysian deep wave, Mongolian deep wave, and so forth and so on, I can change these at any time. So if you decided to change, any of your textures, you can definitely do so. Also, the price changes based on the customer selection. So if a customer's choosing 18-inch Mongolian deep wave, it's going to be a different price than if they go ahead and select 12-inch Mongolian deep wave or 12-inch body wave. The pricing is right above this. So I didn't get a screenshot of that, but it's right above this. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually moving into the online store. So I'm clicking on products, and I'm going to click on add variant and then also more options. So as you can see with the options, it gives you, like, I can choose the length, which I have 14, 16, 18, and then I can also choose the texture. So you go ahead and choose what textures you want listed. So this is the website that I am working on for a client. These prices are not necessarily going to be the end pricing. This is just the pricing that I put in for demonstration on this video. But I wanted to show you how the variants look. So it shows you the different lengths, and it also shows you the textures that I have added thus far. Again, you get to this section by going to logging in your Shopify store and clicking on products. At that point, you want to choose the product that you're going to be working on. I selected closures, and you can go ahead and add variants so that you can kind of have what we saw in the beginning of the video, different options for your customers. So to add a variant, what you want to do is you'll go ahead and once you click on add variant, you'll get to this page. You'll go ahead and you'll add in the length. So I'm going to add in 12 inches, and then I'm going to add in the texture that I'm wanting to pop up as an option. So remember, depending on the amount of textures that you're going to be offering, you want to do this for each texture and for each length. So if you're offering 12 through 18 inches of Mongolian deep wave and Brazilian straight, then you want to make sure that you're adding 12 through 18-inch variants for each individual closure that you're offering. You can also go ahead and put in the price. You can choose if you want to charge taxes on the product or not. And then you can also choose if you want to track the quantity. For me, I typically uncheck that just because I have another way of tracking my inventory, which I've mentioned in other videos. But it just depends on your preference. If you want to track the quantity, you definitely can do so. But for the sake of the video, I'm not going to do it. And also for my online store, I don't do it. So you can go ahead and click save, and then it's going to be time to add the other variant. Also, you want to make sure during shipping that you keep this as a physical product selected if it is a physical product. Sometimes people offer services and they'll create different variants or options for services, and it's not a physical product. If it's not a physical product, you want to make sure that you're unchecking it. But pretty much variants are just options. I get questions a lot. I've gotten some comments. I've also gotten some emails of people asking, how do you add variants? And people saying that, hey, I got confused. And the way that I remember it, just to kind of simplify things, is variants are just options. So the way that you add options is you go into the product that you're wanting to add an option to, you click on the variant button or option, and then you get an option to choose the pricing, you get an option to choose the texture, the length, the size, the color, whatever you want to offer. If you are offering, let's say, socks, for example, and you're offering pink, blue, yellow socks, small, medium, and large, you would do the same thing. You would go in, you would look at your variants. Instead of adding texture and length, you'd go ahead and you'd add size and color. So as you can see, I have one variant for 613 body wave, and I'm going to go ahead and add the second. Remember, when you do this, you always want to click save, and then you want to go back out to your product and redo it again. Because if you don't go back out into your product, like there's an arrow at the top of the screen, then it may not save. As you can see here, it didn't necessarily save. It just changed the 12 inches that we originally placed in for 14. So in order for me to make sure that I'm adding the 14 in addition to the 12, I have to click on that arrow, go back to the products, and then click back on add variant. I'm back at the page and I have to go back down and put in the 14 inches, which it may seem like it's an extra step, which it is an extra step, but it's not as complicated as it may look. It's very seamless. So if you do have a Shopify store, I recommend logging into your store, taking a look at your product and trying to add different variants to your already added products, just in case it's something that you want to do in the future. You don't have to click save. So anything that you don't save, won't save, but you still have the option to kind of play around and get familiar with your site. And then also, if you do, end up saving something that you decide that you don't want in the future, you have the option to go ahead and delete it. So here it's showing me that variant was successfully created. And now I'm just going back to products and I clicked on add variant and I'm back. So now you see the 12 and the 14 inch. So now I'm going to add 16 for the length, and the texture, I'm going to put the same texture, 613 body wave. We're going to scroll down, make sure that we're charging taxes, and also make sure that if you want to charge taxes, and also make sure that the tracking inventory option is checked if you want to track inventory, or it's unchecked if you don't. But it's the same step. So you go right back out to products, you click on add variant, you get back to the page, and now we're going to add 18 inches. So 18, 613 body wave. So it's really, really, really simple. I think sometimes people make it more difficult than it has to be. I'm not going to say that everything is easy through any e-commerce site. I'm not going to say that, but I am going to say that, everything is, you can learn everything is what I'm trying to say. It's nothing that's going to be too challenging to the fact that you just cannot learn it. And if you do need assistance creating a website, reach out to me. This is one of the sites that I'm working on for one of my clients. Reach out to me. I can create a site for you. I can also add variants for you if you're interested. But once you have your variants added, you can always switch them around. So if you want your customers to see like Brazilian straight second, you can move that to the second option. If you want them to see 18 inches first, you can move that in the place of the 12-inch bar. I mean, you have the option to change it and customize it how you want it to be. So if you ever get to a point where you're like, I'm no longer offering, I don't know, body wave, Brazilian body wave, you can go back in your variants and delete the Brazilian body wave variants. And then if you ever feel like changing around your lengths or changing around your texture options, like I just mentioned, you can definitely do so. Once you change them around and have them how you want them to be, all you have to do is click that save button. If you get in this page and you realize, hey, I really don't want to change anything, I'm cool with everything, then you can go ahead and click cancel. Now also keep in mind that you can really add as many variants as you want. You can add more than the 4 options for length that I have. These are not bundle options. These are closure closure options. So closure options have 4 lengths available, but say that, they had, 10 options available. I can definitely go ahead and add the 10 options. And in my opinion, it just makes it a little bit more seamless. I think there are certain products that would be more beneficial without variants or without options, especially if your product doesn't come with an option. I'm not saying use this no matter what product or service you're offering, because some products are kind of like a one size fits all. You're not offering any other options as far as color or size. But if you are offering, color or size options, texture options, length options, then adding a variant is definitely something to consider. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.